Okay, it is 2 p.m. EST. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the AMA. It's really great to see so many of you here, and hello to the 92 spectators as well. Hi, hi, hi. We're super excited to be having this dialogue with the community today. You might notice on stage we've got quite a few staff members here to share their insights with you and answer your questions. So a huge thank you to them for taking the time to be here. I would also like to thank our DJ for today, DJ Jinxie, who's helping to create a nice atmosphere for us. So thanks a lot, Jinxie. Really, really appreciate you. Okay, so here's how it's going to work today. Firstly, we're going to have a little chat with the Jakeness, aka Anton. Then we'll move on to the questions that were submitted in advance from the community. So as you can imagine, we got loads of questions from you all, which is amazing. So we're going to try and cover as many as we can. Lastly, towards the end of the event, we'll open the floor to questions from the room and our spectators. So if you've got any questions you didn't have time to submit prior to this event, just make sure you send a PM to me. This is the HR Live account talking. Send me a PM, and at the end of the event, we will try and get to as many of those as we possibly can. One more thing, if you stick around to the end, we might have a little surprise for you, but we'll talk more about that later. So let's get right into it, shall we? The Jakeness, how are you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing great. Can you hear me?
Yes, can everybody hear the Jakeness speaking?
All right. Hey, y'all. Hey, a lot of yeses. I'm dialing in from my computer. I'm using the desktop app, so I'm glad it's working.
Fantastic, fantastic. Okay, so let's get right into it then, Jakeness. Can you share with us what you feel is HighRise's North Star? Share a bit of your vision with us.
Sure. Well, first of all, I want to say thank you to everyone who is here in this room and attending the AMA and the event. We're going to be doing a lot more of these, and it's just really exciting for me personally. For context, first of all, for the folks who are here, I'm one of the founders of Pocket Worlds and HighRise, one of the creators. I'm also the CEO of the company. I spent a lot of time on it, thinking about the product and product design and how we evolve HighRise and make it the best place it can possibly be. And I wanted to say I'm very grateful for all of you who decided to join us today because you really care a lot. I can see that by you being here, listening to this AMA, listening to the feedback. I love the community that we have here. I love the community that we've built up. It's just super exciting and awesome for me to see. And it's something I'm also very, very proud of. So thank you all. As far as the North Star, so at the very kind of top level, our goal as a company and as a product is to connect the world through shared experiences. And there's two kind of big components to that. There's the part that's connect the world, and so that's all about connection. And I've been kind of doing a lot of user interviews throughout the years, especially more recently. I'm talking to like 2 to 4 users a week just to get their feedback about HighRise. And literally every time I ask, why do you use HighRise? Every single person says, because of the people I met on HighRise, because of the people I've connected to, because of the friends I've made. And so I think we're connecting people in a very real way and in a deep way through the world that you guys all inhabit. And then the other piece is through shared experiences. And that is, what do people do in this world? What are the experiences that they have? Of course, I think we're quite good at chat, whether it's text or voice, hanging out, decoration, self-expression. But there's also a big piece around what more can you do together? What other experiences can you have? Can you play a game? Can you listen to a podcast? Can you watch a video together? Can you go to a show together? Can you go to a concert together? All these different ways that you can share an experience with someone else. And that's in contrast to we all use Instagram, we all use TikTok, back in the day we used Facebook. And that was all that wasn't really shared experiences. That's like you scrolling through a feed, usually alone, and kind of like seeing what other people are up to. Whereas HighRise is alive. You know, you see there's 100 people in this room. Everybody's chatting. People are sending emojis. And so we want to lean more and more into that, make it more and more dynamic, make the experiences more and more fun and more dynamic. And so that's what we're focused on at the highest level, connecting the world, which I think we're doing a great job of, and shared experiences, which we're kind of always working on ways to make those shared experiences better and better. And I guess we'll talk about this in a bit, but kind of sneak peek, that a lot of that is about HighRise Studio and about worlds and how people can connect with each other through worlds. So, but we'll talk about that later. Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you, Anton. That was really inspiring. I'm really excited to see what the future of HighRise is going to be like and how you're going to lead us in that. So let's move on to the state of affairs. Firstly, let's talk about the pets. If everyone was unaware, maybe you do know and you've seen it advertised, we have an event later, a live event called Hatch Together. You'll see myself there, our host, Sour Patch, Sid, and Tom, and the first round of bunnies are going to be hatching. Are you excited about that, Anton?
I am super excited about it. The pets are incredibly cute. The team did an amazing job. Thank you to, there were kind of a handful of people on our team, obviously Tom, also Holly, putting together these just really beautiful, really handcrafted, custom, collectible pets. I think they're awesome, and I am so excited to hatch mine. I actually am holding my, what is it called? The midnight bunny or black bunny?
Yeah,
Called, but
they're going to be super cute.
yeah, but I have mine. I actually spun a bunch of times, and then I did a 10x spin, and in that 10x spin, I got two in one 10x spin, the midnight bun bud. So I got super lucky, and that was really nice.
Yeah, that is super lucky. And if anyone in this room today is curious about learning more about the traits and the process that went into making those pets, we'll be talking more about that at the Hatch Together party, as well as having a nice time together. Moving on, can we have a little chat about concepts and ideas and just share some information about earned gold payouts, please?
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, we have player created or user generated clothing and items and outfits, and we do them through HighRise concepts and HighRise ideas right now. And the reason we do that is because, frankly, making art and making outfits in our art style is quite challenging. And so what we want to do is give people the ability to sketch something, and then our art team takes it and produces it through HighRise concepts and through HighRise ideas, and then releases it into the app. And there's two different business models there and kind of methods. So HighRise concepts is more about what does the community want. So anyone can submit a sketch to a HighRise concept, the community votes, and based on what the community decides, we end up producing it and selling it. And we end up paying a fixed amount of earned gold to the HighRise concept winner based on how many items won. And the reason we pay a fixed amount there is because we don't necessarily know how we're going to distribute the items when we run the HighRise concept. And also, of course, our art team does a lot of the kind of production there. And so we end up paying this fixed amount. And then we might, put it in a sale. We might put it in a grab. We might put it in an event. We might, do a giveaway with it. Who knows? But we end up kind of in that way producing what the community wants. So that's HighRise concepts and the way that works. Then we have HighRise ideas. And HighRise ideas is pretty different. The way that works is you can, again, submit any idea you want to, any sketch, and then you basically need to collect pre-orders. So people will buy it at a discount from HighRise ideas, and basically as long as it hits a minimum number of pre-orders, or really a minimum amount of gold in the pre-orders, then we'll produce it. And the reason why we require a minimum is to basically justify our art team spending time on producing that piece of content, because ultimately they have to sit down and actually draw it and produce it and release it. And so that's why we have kind of this minimum system. It's kind of like Kickstarter, if you've ever heard of Kickstarter. And there we pay out a percentage. So depending on how many sales kind of you did, you get a percentage of those sales, and you get them in the form of earned gold, both HighRise concept and HighRise ideas. And then earned gold, if you go to create.highrise.game, if you go to the creator dashboard, you can actually cash that earned gold out using a service we have in there. It's called the Creator Exchange. So if you earn a minimum of, I think, 35,000 gold, earned gold, then you can cash it out and you can kind of take that home. Well, we'll talk about Studio next, but there's a lot of payouts happening for Worlds, and we'll talk more about that, I guess, in the next thing. Did that answer the question, or were there any more about?
Yes, that's all really exciting. It's just, I love the new ideas feature. It's so wonderful to see the community really backing things they really want and people being rewarded for that. I think it's super, super amazing. Just a tiny little update about things that have been going with HR Live. You might have seen our latest stats that, almost 30,000 users come to our events every month, which we really appreciate. The hosts really, really enjoy the support the community has been giving them recently. We've just launched the HR Live store, which is also really exciting. That's going to switch up every month, and you can earn live loot coins at every single HR Live event. We might give some out today. We'll see. Yeah. Moving on to Studio then. Would you like to give us a little recap on how you felt the game jam went recently?
Sure, yeah. And first, let me start by saying, what is HighRise Studio? What are we trying to achieve with it? So right now, we have a design mode inside of the app. So, you can click that little design button when you're inside of a room, and you can drag objects out of a drawer and put them into your environment. And in that way, you can make a room. That's how this room was built. HighRise Studio is that, but leveled up by 1,000. And so the way that HighRise Studio works is it's actually built on top of a game engine, a full game engine called Unity. And you can go to create.highrise.game and download the HighRise Studio Hub, which will walk you through the process of installing everything you need. So you need a computer today. So you need either a PC or a Mac. It works on both. And then in that HighRise Studio, inside of Unity, which is the game engine that we use, you can build environments, you can build worlds, you can build rooms, you can write scripts if you're inclined to do some programming. But also we're building out a thing called an asset catalog that lets you drag and drop objects into the room. And we're going to be building that out every day. So every day there's new objects there, and they can do different things. You can drag and drop a gate, you can drag and drop a queue, you can drag and drop rain, a radio that plays music, like all this kind of stuff. Some people I see in the chat are mentioning Roblox Studio. Yes, it is as powerful, and as we keep going, the plan is to be even more powerful than a Roblox Studio. And all of this ties back to this idea of shared experiences. How do we give people the best shared experiences, the most interesting and the most relevant shared experiences that people can have? And our path to do that is HighRise Studio. And so some of you maybe saw the game jam that we recently did. That was super exciting. Out of it came Squid Games and RE City game and Space Run. Those were the 3 winners. Congratulations to you guys. That was really awesome. But we're going to be running game jams basically every 3 to 4 weeks. So every 3 to 4 weeks, everyone here is going to have a chance to win a game jam, build something special in Studio. Remember that, Studio is still early. We released it less than 2 months ago, and we are adding big updates every single week. For example, today we actually rolled out an update where you can now start, this might get a little technical, so I'll go through it fast, but you can start storing data about each user in a database, so that if you want to make an experience where somebody can collect experience points, or somebody can collect clothing, or somebody can collect whatever, you can start storing that inside of your world, inside of your experience, so they can keep coming back and they'll have the same progress. They'll have the same experience, the same collectibles, everything. So you can build, I'm sure a lot of folks here have played Animal Crossing. We use that as a big reference here. You could literally go and build Animal Crossing. iShine said fishing, which is a core component of Animal Crossing. But you can build these kinds of things. And we are consistently working to improve it. Actually, somebody just said HR Worlds makes my phone die so quick. That's actually, we just fixed that in the latest patch, 4.6.2. There was an issue with the frame rate. So as you identify issues, as you identify bugs, join our Discord, discord.gg/HighRise, and just tell us, because we're all there. All the developers that are there, we're all working on it. So yeah, to answer your question, that was very long-winded, but the game jam was awesome. We're going to be having constant and frequent game jams that actually Ryan, who's here right now, Ryan, if you want to wave, who's here right now, he's kind of setting up the schedule and the plan. There he is, waving. And then also, we're adding a bunch of resources. So iShine here, who's also up on stage, he actually just put out this awesome playlist on YouTube that he just made just over the last couple days, by the way. So we would love your feedback. He made, sorry, I'm seeing messages. I gotta stop looking. He made this awesome playlist teaching folks how to use HighRise Studio. And it's really easy to follow. It's actually really funny. Y'all should go watch it. But we're gonna keep adding more and more there.
Super exciting. We have just leveled up so much with Studio, and I can't wait to see how the community works with that. It's super exciting. What about creator payouts, Anton? Could you tell us a bit more about that?
Yeah, so that's another really exciting component of Studio and Worlds. And by the way, I see some people saying Worlds are boring right now. They totally are. It's very, very early. I will say I'm already really impressed with everything that everybody's built, with the limited tooling and limited options that they have. And I promise you, every week it's going to get richer and more exciting and more interesting. But to answer your question about creator payouts, so either end of this week, but probably next week, we're going to roll out our first creator payouts. And here's the way they're going to work. If a subscribed user, so someone who's subscribed to HighRise Plus, spends time in your world or in your room, you will get a percentage of the amount that they spend on the subscription in the form of earned gold. And that applies to both worlds and rooms. And so if you have like a really pop-in room, you'll just every day start earning gold. Or if you build a world that engages lots of subscribers, you'll also start earning gold. And that'll show up in your gifts inbox. And once you collect it, you'll collect the earned gold. And if you go to the creator exchange, you'll either be able to exchange it for cash, or you can spend it inside of HighRise. There's some minimum requirements on rooms. So on rooms, I think the minimum requirement right now is you need to have at least 50 people visit your room. So it can't just be like, your home room and you're just hanging out in it. It's got to be a thing that is meant to engage lots of people and create experiences. And it's got to have, I think, a minimum of 2 or 2.5 hours total time spent in it, like across all people who have spent time in it. So there's some minimum requirements for rooms. There aren't any minimum requirements for worlds because we really want to encourage people to experiment and build stuff and go crazy. But at the end of the day, what you'll do is, again, for every time a subscriber spends time in your world, you'll get a percentage of the amount that they spend on that subscription based on how much time they spent in your world or room compared to other worlds and rooms. We call that engagement-based payouts. So if people engage with your world or room, you get paid. in the form of earned gold. So that's one way, and that is coming hopefully next week. Again, you'll be able to go to create.highrise.game, and you'll just be able to see how many subscribers are spending time in your room, and you'll be able to see how much gold you're earning. And it'll pay out every single day. So every single day you'll get it back. You'll get that gold. And then the second way that you'll be able to monetize worlds is something we call the payments API. But basically what it means is if you have a world, you can charge for things in that world. So say you have like a VIP area, you can charge to access that VIP area. Say you have a collectible that you want people to collect, like you have a fish or a wand or whatever. You can ask people to give your world gold in exchange for that thing, and it's up to the creator to design it however they want. And so the people end up voting with which experiences they like and which experiences they want to pay for. I think it's very kind of democratic in that way. And the world creator keeps 70% of that gold, and we'll take 30%, which I think is pretty fair. So it's kind of this platform fee. It's kind of the same as the fee that we pay to the app stores, to iOS and Android. We pay 30%. And so, okay, so those are the two forms of payment. So hopefully, probably not this week, probably next week, we'll be rolling out those engagement-based payouts. So, if you have a pop-in room or you're building out worlds, start to look for that. And then the payments API, the way that you can start charging for stuff inside of your world, that should be coming in the next few weeks. It's coming really soon. And all of it comes in the form of earned gold, which means if you hit a minimum of 35,000 earned gold, you can cash out. Cool. Yeah, that's the story on payouts.
Thank you. Thank you. That was really informative and again, really exciting. Lastly, then, if we could just touch on any HR plus updates that might be coming and the efforts that we've made to keep things safe, like the media and the voice functions.
Sure, yeah. Okay, so HighRise Plus, firstly, we're going to be rolling out 2 more tiers. So right now there's kind of the minimum base tier. We're rolling out 2 more tiers that basically pay you more gold every month at a slightly bigger discount. So it's just kind of a slightly better deal. We're also exploring other features to add into HighRise Plus. Maybe at different tiers, maybe not. We're going to be experimenting with HighRise Plus, and you guys will see us experimenting with it. So that's definitely happening. In terms of media messages, you must have HighRise Plus in order to send a media message. In addition, the media messages, they all go through our image filtering system, the same one that all newsfeed posts go through. And so, we haven't seen any really inappropriate content actually get delivered because it goes, 1, you have to be subscribed, which is its own filter, and then 2, it goes through the filter. Someone said I have HR Plus, but it doesn't show on my page. There's a button in settings where you can enable the HR Plus badge. I don't know if you saw it, but it's there, and kind of you can put it in there. And if it's not working, then please write into support. So yeah, that's kind of what's happening there. In terms of calling, so calling is not available to minors. You must be 18 plus in order to have a call. I will say the experience that we've seen in calls is it's pretty much entirely between friends. It's very rare actually that people have calls before they've kind of become friends and gotten to know each other. We were actually expecting people to use calls more as like a party system, like in other games where you have party chat. You might join a party and then you go from like room to room or world to world or whatever. And so we were kind of, I guess, anticipating that maybe folks would use it that way. It doesn't seem they have. So we're actually exploring another party chat system. But yeah, for now, that's the way the calls work. And often they happen between basically one-on-one between people who know each other is the most common behavior that we've seen.
Fantastic. Okay, well, are we ready to get into the questions we received from the community?
Let's do it.
Okay. And just so everybody knows, if you weren't here at the start, you can PM me, the HR Live account. And at the end, we'll be trying to answer those questions as well. So don't be shy. Okay. So, firstly, I think we'll talk about pets. So, the first question we received is, what benefits do you get with owning pets?
Yeah, well, pets don't offer distinct benefits right now. Um, Really, what they are is they're an incredible, unique collectible with unique traits. Almost every pet looks entirely different from all other pets. Kind of the way that I think about them is at least right now. Has anyone collected Beanie Babies in the past? I loved my Beanie Babies. I was a big fan. I still have some. And so pets is actually a more special Beanie Baby because each one has unique traits and unique characteristics, and is super collectible and really cute. So that's the way we think about pets today. That being said, over the long run, we may enable more functionality for pets. We'll see. So for example, one thing that we've been thinking about considering is if you're a world creator, maybe you know what pet someone has equipped. And maybe if you want to make a game using that pet, you can do that. And so now kind of world creators can leverage the pets that other people have to be able to make a game for them or something like that. So there's kind of interesting possibilities for pets. But for right now, they're a really exclusive, really special, really well-crafted and handcrafted item.
Our next question is, are all pets NFTs? What's the difference between an NFT pet and a non-NFT pet?
So pets are not NFTs. There are no pets that are NFTs. There are some pets that are attached to NFTs, but they themselves are not NFTs. It's kind of like you're getting an item that's connected to the NFT. But pets in general, they are absolutely not NFTs. They're basically standard in-game items that anyone can collect. And one thing I guess I'll mention is that they are also I believe the only items in app that have multiple different traits. So, in terms of clothing and things like that, at least today, we don't have clothing that has separate traits, but pets are the only items in app that have separate traits that you can see. But yeah, Tom's saying someday maybe clothing will have separate traits too. Cool. Hopefully that answers the question.
Yes, yeah, that was great. The next question we had about pets are, why are pets so expensive?
Well, I guess the first and most important thing is that they're really well crafted and they are meant to be difficult to collect because ultimately that's how collection works. Just at the highest level, things that are valuable in the app are the things that are scarce. And these are really special, scarce items, and they're intentionally meant to be special and scarce. That being said, we've been working on making ways to make it more accessible. I think, with each release, acquiring pets has become a little bit easier. I really enjoyed the item swapping mechanic, where you can get the Bun Bud currency, and then there's kind of this maximum limit where you just can't get destroyed by the gacha. There's some max limit, and once you reach the max limit, you can just spend the bunny currency and get a pet guaranteed. So we're working on ways to make it more accessible and certainly a lot less punishing to be able to obtain one or to try to obtain one. But I just want to be clear, it's still meant to be a scarce and collectible item inside of our world. And in addition, I think it's important for us to preserve that for people who end up collecting it, right? If you do end up collecting something special, we don't want to then go and flood the market with that thing that you just collected. We want it to stay special for you. So that's a really important component of kind of what we do and how we think about items.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Thank you so much for answering that. The last question we had about pets is when will the new pets hatch? So, as we mentioned earlier, there is a live event today from 6 to 7 p.m. EST where the first round of pets are going to hatch. So, if you'd like to come along to that, we'd love to see you. And the other pets, the other eggs that are still live, they'll be hatching later, and Tom will update everybody about that, I'm sure, as the time approaches. So moving on, we're going to look at the questions about worlds. So our first question we received from the community is, will there be more 3D worlds and will they replace 2D worlds or 2D rooms?
Okay, I'll answer the last one and then the first one. So they won't replace 2D rooms. You can think about these 2D rooms as a world. So this is a world that we're in, and it's the 2D room experience world, so to speak. And that's kind of what's happening here and what we're in. In terms of will there be more 3D worlds? Well, really, that's kind of up to you guys, because we're building the tools to be able to build those 3D worlds. We're making them better and better every day. You know, if the creator community here picks them up and starts building stuff, then we'll have more 3D worlds. If not, then we won't. So that's kind of the path that it's going down. We are trying to make it easier to make with. We are trying to make it more powerful. We are trying to make ways that people can earn an income from building really awesome experiences and building really awesome worlds. But ultimately, at the end of the day, it's up to the creators on this platform if y'all want to kind of build rich 3D worlds and interactive experiences for the community. So I'm obviously very hopeful and believe that we're going to get a lot more 3D worlds over time, especially as the tech gets better and easier to use. But yeah, we'll see.
Well, with that hope in mind, we have a question that says, how do I get started making my first world?
I think the easiest way is to go to YouTube and go to our YouTube channel. I think it's youtube.com/HighRise app, if I'm not mistaken, but somebody on here can correct me if I'm wrong. And there's a playlist there that says, getting started with HighRise Studio 101. iShine, who's up here, he made that playlist. He made those videos. They're really funny. I think they're worth watching anyway. And go check them out, and it'll be able to get you started pretty easily. The only requirement, again, is that you have to have a PC or a Mac. Can't do it on the phone right now.
Okay, and I think we touched on this earlier, but we have a question that reads, will you have another game jam?
100%. I think we'll be announcing later today the next couple of months of game jams, or next few months. And they're going to be themed. I think our next one is themed around Mayflowers, it coincides with the theme of our event. And so look forward to that. It's going out today. So you'll be able to see. I see Ryan's typing, so maybe he'll have a clearer update than I will. I see someone mentioning Kendrick roasting on the fire. I just want to say this beef between Drake and Kendrick has been very fun to watch. I don't know if anybody's been watching it. But I've been opening up the trending YouTube like every day. It has been very entertaining.
Well, that's really exciting that the game jam is going live soon, the second one. Fantastic. Again, I think you've sort of touched on this, Anton, but for the people that weren't here before, what do you hope for the future of worlds?
Yeah, I hope that it delivers on our mission to create shared experiences that connect the world. I think that as the tooling gets better, as creators here get more engaged. By the way, for the folks who are saying my phone is so hot, that's definitely something we're working on. Thank you for bringing it up. If you can write into support maybe and ping us more about it, it'll light a fire under our team to get it even better. Yeah, my dream for it is that we can have infinite experiences. We have something for everyone that they can play with and engage with and connect with someone else on. So that's kind of my dream and my hope. And I want to work with the entire community here, the creator community, who wants to build amazing things for all the other kind of community members in HighRise. I want to work with them closely. I'm in that Discord channel all the time. I'm on HighRise. I want to help you build the best world you can build. And at the end of the day, I want you to make an income doing it. I want you to, if you build the best world, I want this to be your job. I want you to be able to make a living off this. That's my dream. That's my hope. So that's what we're working towards.
Well, dreams do come true, and I think all of us at HighRise have very, very high hopes for worlds. Moving on to payments, Anton, we have a question from a user which reads, are there any plans to revive the concept that was once going to be a subnet, dollarize or minting in-game assets?
Yeah, that's a good question. We decided to table it for now, and the reason was it was just too hard for people to get into it. The user experience was really difficult and really challenging, and so we decided to lean into gold. I know not everybody knows what that means. This is kind of my point. Someone asked, "What's that mean?" These words like subnet and minting and all these other things that are actually like fairly complicated topics or concepts. We just realized there was a barrier to making it clean and easy to understand. And so we decided now's not the right time. Maybe sometime in the future, it'll be something that is generally kind of accepted in the world, but not today. And so we're sticking to gold. We're sticking to gold payouts. We're sticking to cash, that kind of thing.
Okay, good to know. So again, we did sort of cover this earlier, but for the benefit of the people that weren't here before, what is creator payments and how to get it?
Yeah, I'll briefly touch on this because I know we talked about it recently, but first of all, next week, we're going to be rolling out engagement-based payouts. So if you have a room or a world and people who have HighRise Plus spend time in that room or world, you're going to earn a percentage of their subscription in the form of earned gold. And if you get a minimum of 35,000 earned gold, you can cash that out. Otherwise, you can just spend that gold inside of HighRise directly. So those are engagement-based payouts. There's some minimum thresholds you have to hit on rooms, but there's no minimums on worlds. So if you build a cool world and subscribers spend time in it, you get engagement-based payouts. Someone asked, how much is 100K earned gold in dollars? Divide by 750. So whatever that is. And then the other way is payments API. So that one is coming in a few weeks. Divide by 750. Yeah, there you go. So that one is coming in a few weeks, and that one is if you have a world, you can charge for stuff inside of your world. Collectibles, experiences, unlocks, whatever you want to charge for. So those are creator payments. And then in addition, there's HighRise concepts and HighRise ideas. So if you make a concept and your concept wins, you earn gold for every item that gets produced. And if your ideas gets produced, you get a percentage of the idea, of the revenue collected, of the gold collected from the idea.
Thank you so much for recapping on that. Really appreciate you. Our final question with regards to payments is, why is there a tax on all the gold? What's the point of it?
Yeah, so the reason we have basically a fee on any time gold changes hands between two users is to prevent inflation. What ends up happening is if we just let the gold stay in the system and every time it changes hands, none of it gets sucked out, then basically the amount of gold in the system keeps going up. And that creates inflation. Basically, it means the price of items go up, which means things become less and less affordable. And so, I guess the current political administration would want you to believe inflation isn't real, but it is real, unfortunately. Um, and so we want to reduce that inflation, and one of those ways is to take a fee on the transactions. I've heard suggestions of like a tax rebate or an end of year rebate, and to be honest, I actually really like that idea. I'm into it, and so we'll kind of toss it around and think about it. But I think it's really funny and kind of fun, and get this little like tax rebate. So we'll see, but that's the intention. Is to basically suck gold out of the economy if people are transacting between each other, so that you don't have like, a bunch of billionaires who just are way overpricing everything.
Okay, that's really interesting. Thank you for explaining that to
Алло,
us.
вы меня слышите? Алло,
Oh,
алло.
I think we've got a little bit of a mic glitch in the room. Hopefully it doesn't persist. Okay, so moving on to the future of HR then, Anton. Our first question we had from the community is this. Given the dynamic nature of the gaming industry, how do you stay ahead of trends and ensure HighRise remains competitive and appealing in the long term? That was not me screaming. I can if you
Interesting.
like, but yeah.
That also was not me.
Алло, ты меня
Okay.
слышишь? Блин, тебя слышно.
Oh, interesting.
Это что за бред?
So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna turn.
Six, six.
Блин, ты меня слышишь?
Да.
Я не
Let's see.
могу.
Hello, my friend.
Okay. Are we still having the issue?
I think
Полин, ты
we
тоже?
might be. Yep.
Yeah, okay. I think our mod's looking into it. So I'm not sure whether they need the voice on or not to be able to do that.
Test 1 2 3.
Hear you.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm in spectators and I got mic too. I don't understand.
Ah, I see. Okay. Who is that speaking?
But this is Brax, by the way.
Oh, hello. If you could mute,
So,
Hello.
please, Jay.
what's your user?
Yeah,
They're
I got you.
actually developers are asking. What's your username?
This is Brax, but I'm in spectators and I got mic as well for some reason.
JBREX.
JAYBRACKS.
Well, hello, Jay.
Thank you all for live QAing this. Very fun.
But I'll mute. Don't worry.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, it seems like the other mic glitch might have subsided now. So should we try and continue, and then perhaps the mods can be working on that in the background?
Okay. Yeah, and it's possible the other people did find a way to get onto it, which we're gonna have to figure out. But okay, well, we can continue with that fine and fun intermission. Thank you to whoever did that for prioritizing this bug.
I got you. Shout out to you
Hello?
guys for doing this.
Oh, we're back.
Пидорас!
Привет, как
Всем
дела? Вы
привет.
что? Вы что? Что вы здесь
Мы
делаете, а?
забагались. Мы
Эй,
забагались.
идите.
Мы
Идите
забагались.
отсюда.
Знаете, мы не знаем, как
Ну,
выйти. У нас
alright.
privacy. Нас
Вася,
забанил
остановись.
Souldate, мы не знаем, что делать. Нас забанил Souldate, он очень плохой.
Okay. Testing, testing.
I still have mic.
Hey, I hear you.
Yeah.
Brax, you still have mic?
Yes, correct. I still have mic.
Okay.
Well, I mean, we can try one last time.
Yeah, let's try. Would you like me to repeat the question, Anton?
Sure, let's do it.
Okay. I promise I won't scream at you guys. Sorry for anyone wearing headphones like me. That was a little bit crazy. But here we go. So we're focusing on the future of HR now. And our first question is, given the dynamic nature of the gaming industry, how do you stay ahead of trends and ensure HighRise remains competitive and appealing in the long term?
Yeah, sure. So that's a great question. And I think in general, every product and every company has to think about this. And we do it in a number of ways. One, our goal, first of all, is to have the best team in the industry. We are laser focused on really just having an incredible team and working together as an incredible team. I think that's just a kind of a base requirement if you want to do anything amazing in this world. It's about having an amazing team. So that's one. Two, on the product side, there's a bunch of different places where kind of ideas and concepts can come from. One is from folks in the community, from users. We're doing user interviews. We have a bunch of channels in Discord. We're working closely with everyone, especially creators on HighRise Studio and what kind of games we're building. a lot of that is having that dialogue with the community and figuring out how do we evolve, but also not staying so like narrow that, that features are small, that we end up pushing kind of the technology forward and evolving what HighRise could be out of things we can't even imagine. And then we have a great product design team. So we're constantly working and iterating on what comes next. So yeah, I would say it comes down to having an amazing and excellent team, and we're always recruiting, by the way. And then also getting feedback from the community, getting feedback from you guys, especially getting feedback from creators as they're experimenting and building new things. So yeah, hopefully that answers the question.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. So, our next question regarding the future of HR is, as the player community continues to grow, how do you envision addressing community feedback and integrating player suggestions into the game's future updates?
Yeah, I guess that's related to the previous questions. So one, we have our channels that we kind of communicate through, whether it's within HighRise, Discord, we have that candy board, we have some places. So that's for the kind of the general platform. And then we also are even, I would say, working even more closely with creators as they build experiences. So if you get into the creation game, if you start building with HighRise Studio, start building with worlds, if you're doing stuff with HighRise concepts or HighRise ideas, if you're working on HighRise ideas or concepts, you're having dialogue actually with one of our artists once it gets to production. So we're kind of taking in that feedback. And then with HighRise Studio, right now it's happening in the Create forum and in Discord, but we're having constant dialogue with folks who are building things. And it's super helpful. We're identifying bugs and issues. We're identifying features that people want, ways that we can level up experiences and give people those tools. So that's kind of how we envision it. Uh-oh. I heard a sound.
Yes, me too. We'll keep an eye on it. I think maybe a few specs do have mics, so if you could please stay muted, we'd really appreciate you. Thank you so much.
This is I just want to say this is like its own game, like a horror game, and it's like at random. We
Yeah,
might
you
hear
just never
someone
know
screaming all of a sudden,
when the
in
jump
Russian.
scare's gonna come. Yeah, we just never know.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm panicking. This is
moving
like
on to
Teddy.
our okay, moving on to our next question. A player asks, it was said earlier from an AMA a while back that there were plans for animated avatar items, sort of like how games such as Line Play do it. Are there any plans to bring this back or bring this in soon?
Yes, I would say there's no concrete plan right now. However, with everything we've done with the switch to Unity, it's actually not super difficult. What we need to work on is actually a pipeline for our artists to be able to make the animation, put that as part of the item, and then produce that. So yeah, the answer is it's totally doable. We know how to do it, but stacking it into our priority stack, it hasn't been stacked yet. We're really focused on getting Studio and Worlds to be 10 times better right now. Part of that will be soon-ish, a better kind of avatar creation and editing experience, and that will include animations, but not yet.
Okay, cool. The next question comes from one of our users and it says, I honestly love this game and I always think, will the game still be here and active when I'm old? My question is, how do you see HighRise's future?
Well, I guess we talked a lot about this. And first of all, thank you. Thank you for loving this game. And I definitely aim to have HighRise continue to exist for at least as long as I'm alive.
Oh my god.
I hope my kids get to play HighRise.
Oh my god.
Uh-oh. Is it happening?
I think
I'm
it
just
was
I'm ready for
happening.
this. I'm
Don't
just
be
ready for this
afraid.
AMA horror game. This is an awesome game, and honestly, somebody should just make this experience where it's like you get on mic and then somebody suddenly yells.
Yeah, honestly.
Terrifying. Super fun. But yeah, I definitely would love my kids to play HighRise, and hopefully my kids. And the way to do that we've been pursuing is really turn it into a platform where you have lots of developers, lots of creators building the future of what HighRise is. The community knows best. And so if we give people the tools to be able to build what they want to build and we enable them to get paid to do it, then ultimately HighRise will continue to evolve and it'll continue to stay important and continue to stay modern, all that kind of stuff. So definitely, I've worked on HighRise, Pocket Worlds for the last 10 years, and I expect to work on it for the next, forever. So yeah.
Well, you heard it here first, guys. We're not going anywhere, which is great to hear from Anton. Our next question is, why do we need HighRise Plus? What is the point of it anyway?
So the main point, I'll kind of give you the main point, and the main point is to enable engagement-based payouts. Oh. Hey, this one isn't as bad. This isn't someone yelling. It's loud, but it's not someone yelling. It's not scary. You could do better, whoever's doing that.
Can you still hear us, everybody? Oh, as soon as I speak, it goes. Maybe that's the trick.
Oh, I guess it's because it's the end of the hour. Maybe it's like the end of the hour music.
I mean, maybe.
Well, I don't know. We're back now. We're back now. Yeah. So what's up? But yeah, the main point is engagement-based payouts, so that if people with HighRise Plus spend time in your room and your world, you can get paid for the time that they spend there. If we just did that without engagement-based payouts, then it'd be really easy to game, because people could just like make a bunch of fake accounts, put them up on HighRise and have them sit in somebody's room, and then that person would like collect all the gold. But if it's a subscribed account, then you actually have to pay, and you actually have to choose where you spend your time. And so that's the main point of HighRise Plus, is how do we reward room creators and world builders for building really engaging experiences. And we do that by offering HighRise Plus to the community. We'd love HighRise Plus to be more and more valuable over time, of course. But one of the main points is how do we kind of reward room builders and world builders for engagement. So that's kind of the main point.
Okay, excellent. Our final question that we received prior to the event regarding the future of HR is this. Are we going to ever see VR utilized in worlds? I'd love to have a VR chat type system.
Yeah, why not? I totally don't see why not. With Unity, so as we leveled up from our previous game engine to Unity, with Unity, it supports many platforms. So that's why we're on desktop now and mobile. It supports console, and it supports VR. And so that's definitely possible. It's not our near-term goal or objective. That's not really where the community is right now and where the community is spending their time. However, there's no reason why we couldn't pursue it. And I'm definitely keeping an eye on VR. VR is definitely an interesting platform, super immersive.
Пидорас, сука, чтоб ты сдох, блядь! Нахуй вы меня забанили, за что? Я же случайно забагалась.
Человек, мы не знаем, что делать. So date.
Саудейт, сосать член мой огромный.
Васил.
The language is Russian, and it's
Yes, Russian.
And this is like the really fun game that they're playing with us, which is
HighRise, I love you,
AMA.
HighRise. Мы HighRiserы, мы любим HighRise.
They love HighRise. They said they love HighRise.
I love you,
Мы тоже
HighRise.
любим. Мы тоже
Мы
любим
жить без
HighRise.
HighRise не можем.
Мы все любим HighRise.
Да, я тоже люблю HighRise. Извините, что мы багаемся, мы больше не будем. Не баньте нас.
Well,
Мы больше не
I
будем багаться, вы извините нас.
окей, ну спасибо.
Антон, простишь нас? Мы уходим.
Простил. Я простил. Спасибо.
Мы больше правду не будем, извини нас.
Окей, it's okay. Ну, может быть, вы нам скажешь, как вы это делали, чтобы мы могли это
Я могу
фиксировать?
тебе рассказать, это тебе, я сейчас точку поставлю и расскажу.
Окей, ну, можно на DM, пожалуйста, и we'll fix it. Спасибо.
Okay.
Пожалуйста,
I think we're
извините
looking
нас, мы
into
вас
it.
любим, HighRise.
It's
HighRise,
okay.
мы вас любим.
It's okay. All right. Well,
XXX тебя любит.
окей. Ну, давай, мы кончим и
Пока,
потом
бэй.
поговорим. Пока.
Goodbye,
Спасибо.
goodbye,
Пока.
goodbye, пока,
Goodbye.
пока,
Пока.
пока.
Poke. Great, we did it. Well, they're hopefully going to report the issue and the bug. They said they love HighRise. Thank you for loving HighRise. And I guess we can continue and move on. And to those who asked, yes, I was born in Russia. I moved here when I was 5 years old. So I speak Russian.
That was you speaking. I thought there was somebody else.
No, that was me.
Well, I'm so glad they love HighRise. That's wonderful feedback at NAMA. Love that. Well, we've come to the end of the pre-screened questions. So now it's over to you in the room. If Anton, if you have a few minutes to stick around, we can address the questions I've had via PM.
Sure.
Okay, excellent. As I'm looking through those, DJ Jinxie, do you read me? Can you hear me?
Yes,
Are you able to
I
speak?
can.
Hello, hi. Could you set up a poll for me, please, and just explain to them how they can interact with that poll as to whether they're enjoying the AMA today? That would be great. We're going to utilize the live event assistant bot, and I'm going to have a quick scroll through those questions.
All right. Hello, everybody. It's been one heck of an interesting AMA. Make sure you show some love to your hosts, and they're killing it. So I'm about to set up a little poll using the HR Live Assistant bot. All you need to do is press 1 for yes, 2 for no. So let me get that poll set up and get those answers in as soon as possible. So get them in, everybody. 1 if you are enjoying the AMA, 2 if you're not. 1 or 2. 1 or 2. Hopefully it's a lot of ones. 1 or 2, everybody. You only have a few more
I saw
seconds.
a 3. What does that mean?
I
Undecided?
Don't know what that means either.
On the fence?
And the poll has ended. Oh, and at 99%, the people say yes.
Well, that's amazing. I'm sorry to the 1%, but hopefully we can do better next time, right? Okay, so Anton, whenever you're ready, I've got some questions here for you. So we have one that says, what are we doing to support small concept designers?
That's so. Got loud again. I'm not singing. I wish I could sing like that. Okay, I think it came back down. Okay. Well, right now we have HighRise concepts and HighRise ideas. So concepts, that one's just community vote, right? So it's whatever the community wants. And ultimately our goal with concepts is deliver what the community wants. We're not trying to serve kind of like, one person. We're trying to serve as many people as we can with us. Hello, band. The band is back. I wish I could sing like that. Okay, we're back. And then HighRise Ideas, that's the one where you can really kind of promote your community, people who follow you, people who are engaged with your art style. That's where you can kind of get it done and serve a smaller audience. So ideas is kind of that path. As we iterate on ideas, maybe we'll reduce the amount of gold necessary in order to make an idea successful. Someone said concepts ends up being popularity, though. Well, yeah, we kind of try to deal with that by not showing who the user is and you kind of choosing A or B. We'll keep looking and try to evaluate that. But I'd love for, over time, ideas to require less and less gold so that eventually, you just don't need as high of a hurdle to produce something. And we'll be experimenting with ways to just make it easier to make clothing and items and things like that. The other thing is, honestly, I would encourage you to explore worlds, because in worlds you're going to have even more flexibility, and maybe you can make like a fashion world, and in that fashion world you can put in a bunch of items that only exist inside of that world, but then people can buy and sell them inside of that world, all that kind of thing. So I would also encourage you to take a look at worlds too.
Okay, our next question we received is, do we have plans to bring more masculine items into the game? For example, having an event where there's a feminine grab and a masculine grab.
I think so. I think we have some folks from the live ops team here who would be better equipped to kind of answer the schedule. But yeah, we definitely want it to be more balanced. Again, the one tricky thing is we want to try to serve as many people as possible, and sometimes that's just like we got a lot more feminine leaning people than masculine leaning in the HighRise community, and that's kind of what they vote for in the form of concepts. But totally agree. I'm a guy. I wear masculine clothing. I'm into that too. Oh, and Ann Man just said HighRise is next week. So we're also definitely trying to pepper in and make it more diverse too. I also think as worlds expand, maybe we'll attract a broader audience too, like kind of slowly expand the audience. So let's see.
Excellent. I also got so many PMs asking the same thing, which is, will HR live events be happening in Worlds? And I guess I can answer that if you're okay with that, Anton.
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay. So obviously Worlds is something that we're really, really excited about at HighRise, and that includes us here at HR Live as well. We do have plans eventually to migrate over and create amazing HR Live experiences in Worlds. We're just not ready quite yet, but stay tuned because lots of exciting things will be happening very, very soon. Another question that we had. Oh, are we back with...
Now, I'm kind of into this. Now this is my voice. You guys got me. This is my voice. That was me singing.
Okay. So we have another question. Breeding for creatures was promised way back. Is that still on the cards or not?
That's a good question. So Tom, I think you're here. I guess, long story short, on creatures, first of all, Tom's kind of coordinating the future there, and we're working closely together, but he's the Creature Club manager for now, or he's the Creature Club manager, and we kind of work together on those plans. In terms of breeding, I'm not sure. It's certainly possible, but we can kind of get there and figure it out. But ask in Discord, and we can chat more about it.
Asking again, I got a lot of PMs along the same lines as this. Do we have any plans to bring in different forms of eventing apart from fashion, prank, collect?
Yes, but we're going to be leveraging worlds for future events. So as we explore events and think about events, we'll be building them inside of kind of making them richer, more game-like inside of the world's system.
Okay, excellent. And someone's asking about, let me just double check that I'm getting this right. Yeah, when will Lucky Token Blitz come back?
That's another good question for Ann-Man, who's here in the audience in Live Ops.
We haven't planned that in a while. I'm not aware if that was something that people liked, but it's something we can look into and maybe put on the calendar. Could be good for weeks like this where we have a big grab that is also running at the same time as an event, and so we can have an event that is more focused on engagement and.
Привет, я забыла кое-что сказать.
Oh, hi.
Oh, we're back.
Hi. Здравствуйте всем.
All right, guys. I think we're gonna end the voice, and we'll continue this later.
Hello. So sorry, I'm just tentatively trying this because we did promise you a little surprise at the end. So just to close out the event, the first 200 people to use the promo code that I'm going to type in the chat will receive 11 live loot coins. So let me type it for you. Bear with me. Okay, so obviously at HighRise, we're always building experiences. We're building worlds now together. So the code is building together. And thank you to everybody that made it here to the AMA. Anton, if you'd like to continue a bit later, we absolutely can. Up to you, but I think this was a really informative and really fantastic and positive AMA. Thank you for all of your questions. We really, really value your input and your feedback, and make sure to keep giving it because we'll definitely see you at an AMA in the future. So yeah, thank you everybody, and thank you so much to all the staff. Thank you to Anton, thank you to Jinxie, thank you to Anne and Ryan and everybody that came, and Tom, who I just noticed standing next to me. So yes, thank you everybody.
Thanks everyone, and thanks everyone who attended and asked thoughtful questions and participated, and also thank you ahead of time for getting into worlds and trying to build really cool stuff, and really building HighRise with us together. Thanks guys. Bye everyone.